White lost their knight to a knight landmine on the e5 square. When the knight was present there, it was blocking the rook on the e1 square from checking black's king. Now that the knight isn't there anymore, there's an immediate check on black's king. Also, if the knight had not been lost, the knight being moved to the c6 square was a threat to remove black's queen from the game. Since the knight landmine removed the knight, that threat is no longer there. Black moved their knight to f5 to attack white's queen on g7. White opted to take the pawn at h7 thinking it was a free pawn, but they ran into a queen landmine and lost their queen. Black moved their pawn to d6 and was greeted with a pawn landmine. When their pawn was removed, this opened up their queen to move forward on the d-file. Black put their bishop on f1, which meant a checkmate could happen as soon as black moved their queen to h3. However, a bishop landmine activated, removing the bishop. Now that the queen didn't have protection on h3, the checkmate was no longer possible. Black moved their queen to e4, checking white's king on h1. White would then have to move their king to h2, and black would be able to move their queen to g2, checkmating white. However, a queen landmine activated on the e4 square, removing black's queen. Now, black couldn't go for the checkmate with their queen because they didn't have a queen. White's king was cornered, so the only thing they could do was move pawns. Unfortunately, they hit a pawn landmine on the a4 square. Black went for checkmate again by moving their rook to the h3 square, taking out the pawn. This normally would have been checkmate, however they hit a rook landmine, removing their rook on h3, causing the game to continue. Black ultimately ended up winning this game by checkmating white's king in the corner. If you want to see more trap activations like this, please hit subscribe. This will help me bring trap chess to life so that you'll be able to play it yourself. Thank you for watching.